We spend an extraordinary amount of time just talking about video games, so welcome to Let's Talk, one part review and part discussion about games, old and new, upcoming, and being tested.
We'll tell you the basic concepts, what to expect, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's talk about it. Marketed as inspired by Wind Waker, Summer in Mara is an easy RPG adventure where you explore the island-based oceanic world. You can trade, build, harvest, and jump incredibly high while you explore islands and interact with the characters.
The playstyle feels like a third-person mobile game, plus Harvest Moon meets RPG questing. You run around, harvest things with a click, and a click, and a click. Run home, make a recipe with a click, and then go and talk to Yaya, Mother Blob, and either give her the item you just made or use the item to do something else, like building a fence or planting a tree. If you can figure out how.
Now, this game was marketed around as inspired by Wind Waker, even called the next Wind Waker by some more clickbaity articles, and it's not. It's more like Harvest Moon, but even then, it doesn't quite have that down either, as those bits feel a bit more like a mobile game than anything else. There really isn't much Wind Waker in this, other than the boating aspect, which is cool, but it wasn't really what made Wind Waker Wind Waker. This isn't really the game's fault, but it was marketed the wrong way. It really should have pushed for more of the Harvest Moon connection. The menus and tutorials are frustrating, to say the least. There's no instruction on how to actually do things, just do this, and the menus are not intuitive at all.
There's no indicator on the screen of what button to push, and there's no information on the HUD for your next quest objective or activities. It may have had a controller in mind, but it has odd keyboard mapping and doesn't appear to let you customize it.
And the need to use the interbar while also using the mouse to aim is awkward. It could use some tutorial dialogue boxes the first time you do something, or even just a little help guide, so you don't have to waste time trying to figure something out or get caught off guard.
The graphics are well designed and look amazing in the cartoon cutscenes, but in-game you can tell they could be much better. The ground felt like one flat green color with very little variation. While you can tell they were going for a bright and colorful scenery, it just needs to be a tad more dynamic to really get that nice cel-shaded feel. Instead of a cel-shaded look, it comes off more like early World of Warcraft.
Lastly, the mechanics.
Mechanics in the game feel like they were designed for a mobile game, which given the company's background isn't surprising.
But I don't think they successfully made the switch. There doesn't seem to be a point to the crafting system when you don't really have a health bar and you don't do anything other than gather a recipe and hit accept. The harvesting is also really simple, to the point where the repetition could get really boring. They definitely hit the bright and colorful mark, and the designs are lovely. The atmosphere they've built is really nice too. You do get the feeling you're on a lonely island in the big ocean. As silly as it was being able to jump onto the house in a single bound, it was fun, along with the super speed running.
The stills for the dialogue options are also really nicely done and get across Koa's attitude and character really well. It is predominantly text-based with small pieces of animation and additional sound effects.
The bottom line is, the marketing and advertising for this game gave me high hopes, but those were crushed. It's great as a kid's first RPG, or if you're not sure you like RPGs, but if you go in expecting Wind Waker, you'll be disappointed. Go in expecting Harvest Moon meets trading sequences in an island and boating setting, and you might have a good time. I would recommend they update their graphics to have a little more dynamics in them, fix the awkward menus and lack of instructions, and this game could be pretty solid, if not a little simple, RPG-like game. Thanks for listening!